A big question many of us have is how long will it actually take for me to declutter my home? Some assume years, while others think it'll just be a few weeks, and both can be way off. The truth is, you'll likely be one of 4 decluttering types, and each type has its own timeline for results. Today, I'm here to help you figure out which type you are, what timeline to expect, and some quick tips to speed up your results. First off, it's important to know why having clear expectations about how long it takes to declutter your home is key to success. So to keep it simple, let me introduce you to Baker A, Erica, me, and Baker B, Schmerica, definitely not me. So Erica and Schmerica are both craving a batch of perfectly baked cookies. Now, Schmerica has a recipe and knows that making her cookies involves several steps: careful measuring, assembling ingredients in order, chilling the dough, and baking to perfection. And she understands the whole process will take about 2 hours. On the other hand, Erica thinks she can whip up cookies in just a few minutes. So she rushes to the kitchen, grabs ingredients haphazardly, skipping crucial steps along the way because she wants instant cookies. Starting off, Schmerica carefully assembles the ingredients in just the right order. Meanwhile, Erica tries to speed things up by wildly throwing everything together. When it comes time to bake, Schmerica's cookies turn out beautifully golden and delicious, while Erica's they actually turned out looking pretty good. They taste terrible. So hopefully we haven't lost the point, because really, which woman ultimately achieved her original goal? The lesson here: when you start a project with unrealistic expectations, it leads to disappointment, discouragement, and overwhelm. But when you know how long it'll really take, you can tackle it with the right mindset, and that keeps you from giving up when things get tough. Plus, if you think it'll be quick, you're more likely to cut corners, just like Erica. All right, now that you know why this matters, let's dive into the 4 decluttering types and find out which one you are. And as a quick aside, I'd recommend you stick around to the end, because even if you learn who you are early on, it might help to learn about the other decluttering types, as some of them might be living in your home. All right, first up is what I call the cheetah. Just like a cheetah, this decluttering type is all about intense speed. You might go for a while making slow progress, but then bam, you dive in with laser focus and crazy energy. You attack that mess like a cheetah chasing down its prey. Cheesiest thing I've ever said. Now, being a cheetah has some serious upsides. You can make lightning fast progress, and you get instant visible results, which feels amazing. But while the cheetah approach sounds fast, the data indicates that this group tends to spend years decluttering somewhat sporadically. The reality is that cheetahs are often at risk for burnout. You thrive on those quick, intense bursts, usually when something big comes up, like company coming to stay or a major move. The problem? Well, after you power through, you have zero energy left for maintenance, which means clutter can pile up between those sprints. Plus, cheetahs often avoid tackling the hard stuff, the sentimental or tough to let go items. It might not seem like a big deal, but that's the clutter that can really challenge your spending habits. And if you're stuck in a cycle of decluttering, then buying more, you'll never break free. So let's talk about how you harness your cheetah power without crashing. After that burst of decluttering, set up a routine to keep the clutter from creeping back. It can be as easy as spending 5 minutes tidying each room at the end of the day, keeping decluttering bins in strategic spots around your house, or taking on a fun challenge like the 30-day minimalism game. When you get that burst of energy, don't try to declutter your whole house in one go. Instead, pick 1 or 2 spaces and go all in. One of the problems cheetahs run into is they tend to declutter at a surface level over and over again. Until you push yourself to make the deep cuts, you're unlikely to gain the benefits of a minimized home. To break the cycle of decluttering and reaccumulating stuff, commit to a spending freeze. Challenge yourself to stop buying non-essentials for a set period, and I'd recommend at least a week, but honestly, a month would be better. This forces you to really appreciate what you already have and prevents the clutter from creeping back in. Plus, it gives you time to focus on maintaining the progress you've made instead of constantly adding more to the pile. Next up, we've got the owl declutterer. Owls are all about routine and observation. They are wise, steady, and consistent. So if this is you, you're probably really great at sticking to a decluttering routine, just like an owl hunting for its prey every night. You are super aware of what's going on around you, and you make sure that the clutter doesn't sneak up and take over in your house. Being an owl comes with some real strengths. You keep things tidy long term, so clutter never really piles up. You've got sustainable systems that are easy to stick with, and small, regular efforts means you avoid those big, overwhelming marathons. Owls tend to be one of the faster decluttering types, with their initial efforts taking a few months and then ongoing maintenance being part of their daily and seasonal routines. But owls have a few challenges. Sticking to a routine can sometimes make you too comfortable, causing clutter blind spots where certain items get overlooked. Those regular tidy-ups might not always tackle the big hidden messes, like the clutter piling up in the garage or forgotten corners of a closet. Plus, if something disrupts your routine, like a major life change, you might struggle to adapt and get back on track. So there's always room to improve. While your routine keeps things under control, a deep dive every once in a while will push you to ask tough questions like, can I get by without this? Does this item serve a clear purpose in my life right now? Or if I were downsizing to half the space, would I take this with me? Make sure no area gets left behind. Try rotating decluttering zones consistently to hit every part of the house. So you don't just want to maintain, you also want to make progress. Set clear goals, such as testing out a capsule wardrobe to push yourself beyond just keeping up with the decluttering basics. Next up, we have the Dolphin. Now, dolphins glide smoothly through water, moving in waves, and that's exactly how this decluttering style works. If you're a dolphin, you tackle clutter in phases, coming back to the same areas over time. Just like dolphins returning to familiar spots when hunting. Each pass refines your process, helping you make smarter and deeper decisions with every round. Being a dolphin comes with some great benefits. You get better at decision making with each round, and you benefit from a fresh perspective and growing confidence in yourself. This method works wonders for sentimental items, letting you ease into letting go without the emotional overload of thinking, oh, I need to decide all at once. You break big tasks into smaller, manageable chunks, which helps you to avoid burnout. The average dolphin will find themselves completing the bulk of their decluttering over a 1 to 2 year process, which is great. But dolphins can hit a few bumps along the way. For starters, decluttering in waves can make you chase the thrill of big results. Like, who doesn't love the sight of a car trunk just packed with bags headed for donation? It feels amazing. But here's the thing. At some point, decluttering gives diminishing returns. Dolphins might miss the moment when they need to switch gears from decluttering to setting up habits and organizational systems to maintain the space. Plus, constantly revisiting stuff or knowing you'll come around to it again can lead to overthinking or putting off hard decluttering choices for too long. So here's how to make your dolphin style even better. With each round, aim to make bolder decisions. Push yourself to decide once. Start asking yourself, do I want to be considering this item again in a few months, or should I just decide once? Remember that your stuff doesn't need to come ahead of your values and priorities. So adopt the minimal mom's mindset that if it's not a clear yes, it's a no. Once you've cleared a space, shift focus to building habits that keep it clutter-free. For instance, you could begin washing all your dishes before bed. It'll quickly reveal to you how few dishes you actually need, making it easier to downsize more in the kitchen. Dolphins can fall into the trap of scanning for items to declutter, rather than asking themselves to evaluate each individual item. Instead, when going through a space, pick up each item in that space and determine if it is a keep, a maybe, or a toss. I know, the tortoise sounds slow and boring, but stick with me. The tortoise is all about persistence and steady progress. Just like Aesop's classic character, the tortoise moves steadily but surely toward the finish line. This decluttering style takes small, manageable steps. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Being a tortoise has its perks. You're not in a rush, so there's no pressure to have immediate results, which is perfect if you're super busy or have limited energy. You enjoy consistent progress, as a little bit every day adds up to big results in the long run. This approach tends to have varied timelines by individual, with some tortoises completing their decluttering within 8 months, while others report a decade-long process. And so, there are some challenges to being a tortoise. The slow pace can get frustrating. Minimal effort might feel like it's not enough, and impatience can creep in. There's also the risk of getting too comfortable and avoiding the bigger, messier tasks. So here's how to boost your tortoise game. Celebrate the little wins. One drawer, one shelf at a time, by using a visual chart to track your progress and keep yourself motivated. Every now and then, set aside a bigger chunk of time to tackle high clutter areas. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask a friend to assist you, or schedule a donation pickup to give yourself a clear goal to work toward, or consider finding a decluttering course or a mentorship group that can help motivate you for the deeper dives. I don't currently offer one, but I'll link to some good options in the description. Start with spaces that will make the biggest difference in your day-to-day life. If you have limited time or energy, then a streamlined kitchen to ease up the process of cooking could work wonders to keep you inspired and moving forward, and could result in you having more time to declutter because you're not spending as much time cooking and cleaning up from it. You might wonder, how did she figure out that there are different decluttering types? Well, I learned it from people sharing about their decluttering journeys online. By analyzing hundreds of responses to the question, how long did it take you to declutter? I identified 4 types, each with its own strengths and challenges. But here's the thing, it's not really about the type you are. What matters is reflecting on your approach. Too many people miss out on the life-changing effects of decluttering because they don't understand their own process or how to level up. Whether you found your type or fall into a couple of categories, real progress isn't about speed, it's about sticking with it, letting the process transform you and prioritizing your life and your values over your possessions. And if you need a little inspiration in that realm, then check out this video here. And until next time, over your possessions. And prioritizing.